Good morning, Aquarius. How are you today? Oops, cards everywhere. Anyways, these cards are fresh out of the shuffler because I can't shuffle cards right now. But at any rate, let's see. So I don't know what to title this. It should be your bonus readings, but I never did weekly readings. So this is just kind of the reading for this week, I think. Okay, I apologize, but things have been a bit out of the norm. I'll be hopefully get everything back on track this coming Sunday when we'll do weeklies, okay? But for right now, this is just this week's reading, however this plays out, whatever you want to title it, okay? And this one's for my Aquariuses. Okay, so let's see where you're at this week. We're opening with the King of Swords, okay? Followed by, I've got the Ten of Swords, and then I've got the Six of Wands. So this would be your backstory or your recent past. Currently, I've got you with the Page of Cups, followed by the Nine of Wands, and then we have the Three of Swords. Okay, in the near future, we're looking at the Two of Pentacles, followed by the Queen of Wands, and then we have the Nine of Swords. Bottom of the deck for this reading this week is the Emperor. Okay, so the undercurrent to this entire reading has something to do with you being very, very much so in charge of your kingdom, very much so somebody who has set in their ways. You're not really open to compromise this week. You're feeling very rigid in your thinking, okay, period. You just don't feel like there's anything that you need to alter right this minute as far as the way you're looking at things, okay? Okay, the card at the center of your read, so from almost every direction it plays into the equation, is the Nine of Wands. So you are definitely feeling wounded. I get the feeling you're feeling wounded by life in general. Just, I don't know if you could pinpoint one thing that's upset you. There's just a lot that's added up, right? That's how I see this. But we'll see how they play in as we go forward. Okay, so we start with your recent past or your backstory where you're presenting as the King of Swords. So you are definitely standing firmly in your masculine. Doesn't matter your gender, just right now you're standing very firmly in your masculine. You are somebody who's trying very hard to deal with life with integrity and with honesty. Definitely the most intelligent of all the kings, so you are definitely, basing all of your decisions on a sense of intellect, trying to keep emotions at bay, really. Okay, so this is how you're presenting in the recent past, or this is your backstory. The next card over is the Ten of Swords, so there's been some sort of betrayal. Possibly there have been a lot of betrayals, right, that have added up to get you to this point. You're coming through very cold here in the recent past, okay? And the challenge to all this is the Six of Wands. So the challenge becomes how you are perceived by others, the public recognition, like you're being perceived as being quite cold, and that's not something that you feel like is fair or not something that you feel you're not okay with it, okay? So I think you're trying, here in the recent past, I think this is how you genuinely feel, but you're trying to present yourself a little bit more soft than maybe you feel on the inside, and it is because there's some kind of an interest in how people perceive you, which is not normally an Aquarius trait, but this is what I'm getting right here. You don't want to be perceived as being as cold as you are possibly feeling inside right now, okay? Or that was the recent past. So that's what we're building off of. Where are you currently? Well, we have the Page of Cups, then we have the Nine of Wands, and then the challenge here is the Three of Swords. So with the Page of Cups, Page of Cups to the Nine of Wands. I feel like you are trying to not give credit to the amount of wounded that you're feeling. So I feel like you're trying to act happy, even though, rather than deal with healing whatever it is that's hurt inside of you. I feel like you're trying to sweep it under the rug and not acknowledge it right this second. And the challenge here is just exactly how heartbroken you really are by the situation. Something here has been devastatingly heartbreaking to you, and I don't think you're even acknowledging it to the extent that it is an issue, let alone allowing anybody else to understand how much you've been heartbroken here. Yeah. And with the Emperor over here it being the undercurrent, I don't believe that that's going to change anytime soon. You've made your mind up to not allow people to realize the amount of pain that you are feeling, or the amount of destruction that something did to you, or something like that. Okay, that's where I've got you currently. In the near future, I have the Two of Pentacles, then the Queen of Wands, and then I get the Nine of Swords. So with the Two of Pentacles, this inability or non-desire to let your actual emotions forward, or to let people understand how badly you've been hurt, is definitely causing a sense of imbalance, okay? It's causing you to feel out of balance. With the Queen of Wands, this is you putting yourself into a position, or you being in a position where you know you can have whatever you want. Almost like you've earned it, I guess. You've earned this position of being able to have whatever you want. But that is stressing you out. I don't know why it's stressing you out, I guess, because you haven't bothered to heal what's hurt inside of you. And I don't know if you don't feel like you deserve to have this ability to have what you want. But it's definitely causing you a great deal of stress, you trying to maneuver or navigate your way through this, being able to, you know, conquer anything that you set your mind to. For some reason that's upsetting to you. I don't know why. That is very confusing to me. Let me see what else you got. Behind the Emperor, I've got the World card. And then I've got the Knight of Cups. It feels to me like there's some kind of a love situation that's desperately trying to come into your atmosphere, and you are just adamantly not letting it in. With the World card behind the Emperor, it's like you've closed a cycle and you're refusing to let a new one open, or you've closed this cycle when it comes to love and you're refusing to let something new come forward towards you. And it's stressing you out. And I don't get it. I don't know. I don't really get it. Let me get three more. What do we got? The Queen of Swords, okay. And then I've got the Five of Cups. And then I've got the Ace of Cups, exactly. This is like you're in this cold-hearted sort of a stance, refusing to let love in any aspect. It's left you, I mean, I guess love in the past left you feeling quite, you know, filled with loss and regret. And so for that reason, in this Ace of Cups, I mean, that's Ace of Buckets, but he's just dumping the love back out into the ocean. It's like, that's what you're doing. People are coming towards you with love and you are just rejecting it and dumping it back into the ocean. You don't want anything to do with it, is what I see. Okay, what do we have left for this week? Today we were on Wednesday, right? So for Thursday, what'd you get? Thursday, you've got the Knight of Spoons, so that'd be the Knight of Swords and the Page of Wands. So this is you going on some kind of a crusade for the truth. You're looking at it like an adventure, but you're definitely trying to get to the bottom of the truth in some situation. Friday, I have you with Judgment, and then Temperance. So I feel as though whatever this crusade for truth is, you go out on Thursday, you obviously find it, because Friday it looks as though you're in a position to call judgment on somebody, but you're trying to hold back. You're trying to be patient. Saturday, I have the Pope, which is the Hierophant to the Chariot. This is you coming back into what you have on Friday here. It's you knowing you're in the right, trying to have forward motion in something. Sunday, I have the Popess. So this is the High Priestess and the Star card. This is you holding on to hope and faith and somebody coming clean. What I feel like is happening here is you know the truth in something. You go out on a crusade and you find the truth out about a situation, and you're holding back on pulling judgment, or you're holding back on the forward motion. You want this person to come clean to you. You want them to come forward and be honest with you, versus you having to prove that you already know the truth. That's what I see here. That's the element this week. All right, y'all, that is what I've got for this week. I'm sorry these are late and everything's a little off this week, but that's what we got this time, okay? All right, and my whole subscriber situation, I will be back doing more subscriber, new subscriber mini reads and everything this afternoon, I believe, and we will try to get them all done and up there with the new system, okay? All right, thanks.